Hi students, welcome back. So after completion of mathematical reasoning, so let us start the next chapter. This is mathematical induction. So first we discuss theory based on mathematical induction. Then we'll start the numericals. So as we studied in PU mathematical induction, so this will be used for checking the truthness of a statement. Okay. So some statement will be given in the form P of n. We take a statement in the form P of n. Now to check the truthness of this statement, okay, or to prove the statement, now we will be using the mathematical induction. So here P of n is a statement. P of n is a statement, and n is a positive integer. N is a positive integer. Now, how do we check this statement is true by using mathematical induction? So, what we do is we prove that the statement is true for n equal to 1 first. Okay. So, first step we prove P of n is true for n equal to 1. Okay. So, take n equal to 1, substitute in the given statement, and see that is the statement satisfied or not. If it is satisfied, then we say it is true for n equal to 1. Next, second step, we assume that the statement P of n is true for n equal to some k, where k belongs to positive integer, that is z plus. Okay. So this is the second step. We assume that the statement is true for n equal to k, where k is again positive integer. Third step, we have to prove that P of n is true for n equal to k plus 1. So assuming it is true for n equal to k, we prove that the statement is true for n equal to k plus 1. Now if we can prove this three steps, then we can say that the given statement is true for all positive integers starting from n equal to 1. Okay, it is true for all positive integers starting from n equal to 1. So starting from n equal to 1, positive integers means they are nothing but natural numbers. Okay, so if you are starting from 1, then we can say that then by the principle of mathematical induction, we say that P of n is true for all n belongs to n. Okay, so here I am writing n belongs to n, that is all natural numbers, because we are starting from n equal to 1, that is positive integers starting from 1. Then we say it is true for all n belongs to n. So this is how we can prove that the statement is true for all n belongs to n. Okay, so this is what already we studied. Now is it always we start from n equal to 1? Now there will be some statements P of n which is not defined for n equal to 1. Okay, it may be defined for n greater than or equal to 3 or n greater than or equal to 5, like this. Okay, suppose if given statement P of n, okay, a statement is given P of n, and given that it is defined for, suppose n greater than or equal to 3. Okay, so here the statement P of n is defined for n greater than or equal to 3, means the values of n we can take from 3 to infinite. Okay, so here also we take only the integers. So can we say that after proving these three steps, can we say P of n is true for all natural numbers? No, we cannot say P of n is true for all natural numbers. If we can prove these three steps, now to prove this above three steps, here we cannot start from n equal to 1. Okay, here we have to start from n greater than or equal to 3, means you have to start from n equal to 3 onwards. So in the first step we prove that P of n is true for n equal to 3. Okay, so here we take n equal to 3 onwards. So if you can prove above 3 steps, in the first step we have to prove for n equal to 3, not n equal to 1. Okay, then by principle of mathematical induction we say that P of n is true for all n greater than or equal to 3. Here we don't take for all n belongs to n. Understanding? So if we are starting from 1 and we are taking all positive integers, then we say it is true for all natural numbers. If it is defined for n greater than or equal to 3, then we have to start from n equal to 3. First step will be proving P of n is true for n equal to 3 and prove the remaining 2 steps. Then by principle of mathematical induction we can say that P of n is true for all n greater than or equal to 3. Understand? So here we are taking from n equal to 3 onwards. Don't take from n equal to 1 onwards, because the statement only not defined for 1 and not defined for 2. So there is no meaning in checking for n equal to 1 or n equal to 2. So here we have to start from n equal to 3 onwards. Okay. Now we take some standard statements. Standard statements. Standard statements are standard formulas which involves an integer n. Okay, a positive integer n. So first we take sum of natural numbers 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n. It is n into n plus 1 by. Okay, this is a statement which involves a positive integer n. Okay, so whenever we have the statements which involves the positive integer n, now to check the truthness of this type of statements, we will be using the principle of mathematical induction. Okay, so this is one standard statement. Next, sum of squares of n natural numbers. So 1 square, 2 square up to n square. It is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Sum of cubes of natural numbers 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube up to n cube. It is n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Sum of cubes of natural numbers. Next, a plus b, a plus 2b, and so on. A plus n minus 1 into d. So here also we have the addition of some terms which involves a positive integer n. So sum of these terms, you observe it is forming AP and we are taking sum of n terms. So it is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Or if you take another series, a plus ar square and so on, ar power n minus 1. So it is the sum of terms in GP, sum of n terms. It is a into r power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Okay. So these are some standard statements which involves a positive integer n. Also we can write this as so this also can be written as sigma n. Okay. Now here we are not mentioning the limits. So even though we are not mentioning the limits, so whenever we write sigma n, so it means we are taking the summation from 1 to n. Okay, so sigma n means we are taking sum of n terms. So sum of n terms, that is sum of n natural numbers n into n plus 1 by 2. Now the second statement can be written as sigma n square. So sigma n square means sum of squares of natural numbers. Again, limits are not mentioned, means it is from 1 to n. Okay, so limits from 1 to n means sum of squares of n natural numbers n into n plus 1, 2n plus 1 by 6. This also can be written as sigma n cube, sum of cubes of natural numbers from 1 to n. It is n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4. Okay, so these notations will be used when we are solving the problems. Okay, so these are the standard results. Now, when we are solving the problems, in case of PU, the statement was given directly, and we are checking by using the 3 steps. Okay, or we are proving the statement is true by using the principle of mathematical induction. Now, when we are solving the objective part, what they give is only the left hand side will be given. Okay, left hand side will be given. Now we need to find the right hand side. Okay, if it is standard statement, directly we can write the formula. If it is not a standard one, then in such case adding the terms may be complex. Okay, if it is like this, forming AP or GP or HP or sum of natural numbers, squares of natural numbers, cubes of natural numbers, we can write some formula for finding the summation. But if it is not a standard one, now in such case taking the sum of the terms may be complex. So in such case, what method we use for solving this type of problems? So that method is, we can see that the statement involving an integer n. Okay, in the left hand side we have n, in the right hand side also we have n. So in the given problem we will be having n, in the options also we will be having n. Okay, now for this type of problems we use by verification. So take some values for n, substitute in the given problem, that is LHS. So take n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3 like this, and substitute in the given problem. So problem is nothing but left hand side, options are nothing but right hand side. So substitute any values in the given problem. Now what value we get, that same value we should get in the options. So this type of verification will be used for solving the problems based on mathematical induction. Okay, so most of the problems here will be solving by using this verification method. So directly also we can solve, but it may not be easy for all the problems. Okay, so in such case we will be using this verification method. Understand? Next we will take some notation and we will see what is the meaning of that notation. So here some terms will be given. Okay, so series of terms will be given like A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to some AN. Okay, so sum of terms is given A1, A2, A3 up to AN. So here if I want to find a particular term, okay, I want to find the 10th term, I want to find the 15th term like this. So if you want one particular term, it depends on the nth term. Okay, that is AN. So here nth term is AN. Now substituting some values for n here, so we can find whatever the required term. Okay, so take n equal to 1 implies A1. Okay, n is 1 is we get A1. So what is A1 here is a first term. Next, take n equal to 2. N is 2 means we get A2, which is a second term. if I take n equal to 3, then we get a3, which is the third term, and so on. So taking some values for n and substituting in this an, we'll be getting the required terms, first term, second term, third term, and so on. Okay, so this is the nth term. Next, if I want to find the sum of these n terms, I want to find the sum of these n terms. Sum of first n terms. It is denoted by Sn. So in this sum of n terms, if I take some values for n, let n equal to 1. So n is 1 means I get the S1. So S1 means sum of first term. So sum of first term means that is only here. Okay. If I take n equal to 2, n is 2 means S2. Sum of first two terms. So sum of first two terms means we take A1 plus A2. If S1, S2 are given, so we know A1 value already. Now substitute A1 here, then we can find what is A2. Okay, so we can find the first term, we can find the second term, and so on. If I take n equal to 3, n is 3 means we get S3. What is the meaning of S3? Sum of first three terms. So sum of first three terms means A1 plus A2 plus A3. Okay, so when these values are given, we can find the terms of series A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Okay, so when we are solving the problems, it should be very clear that are we finding the nth term? Are we finding the nth term, that is one particular term, or are we finding the sum of n terms? Okay, are we finding the sum of n terms? So when nothing is given means simply sum of terms is given means we are finding the sum of n terms, and particularly if they are asking some series is given, in that if you want to find the 10th term or 15th term, now in that case you will be using the nth term here. Okay, so these two type of problems will be given, nth term and sum of n terms. Okay, so this we can find by taking some values for n, and when we are verifying, so this notation is very important. Okay, when we are verifying, substituting n equal to 1, 2, 3 like this, we are getting the terms, but here substituting n equal to 1, 2, 3, we are getting sum of the terms. Okay, sum of first term, sum of first two terms, sum of first three terms, and so on. Okay, so this notation will be important. So let us start the problems based on this. So the questions. See level 1. Right. The nth term of the series 1 by 1 into 3 plus 1 by 3 into 5 plus 1 by 5 into 7 and so on is. So here we need the nth term in this series. We are not taking the sum of all the terms. Okay, what we need is the nth term in this series. Now here we can use two methods. One method we can always use, that is the verification method. Okay, so verification method will be used for solving most of the problems in this chapter. So first we see verification, then we will see how to solve directly. Okay, now see, we need the nth term in this series. Nth term, if I take n is 1, so n is 1 means which term we get? First term. So already first term we know, 1 by 1 into 3. So what is 1 by 1 into 3 is 1 by 3. So whenever we take n equal to 1, we should get the term as 1 by 3. Now substitute that n equal to 1 in the options. See that which option will give answer as 1 by 3. If only one option is giving, that is only the correct answer. Okay. So let us take the verification method. So this will be the easier method for solving problems based on this chapter. Let us take n equal to 1. N is 1 means we get the first term. So this is the first term here, 1 by 3. Okay. So this already we know. N is 1 means, so first term is 1 by 3. It is 1 by 1 into 3. Now we should verify from the options. See the options. First option. When we take n equal to 1, see are we getting the first term as 1 by 3 or not? N is 1 means 2 minus 1 into 2 plus 1. 1 into 3, we get to 3. So are we getting 1 by 3 as the first term? No. So this is wrong. Next, so take the second option. N is 1 means 1 by 3 minus 1 by 1. So 1 by 3 minus 1 by 1 means we get minus 2 by 3. We need the first term as 1 by 3. Third option. N is 1 means 1 by 1 plus 1 by 3, which is 4 by 3. It is also wrong because we need 1 by 3 as answer. Fourth option, 1 by 2 minus 1, 1 into 2 plus 1, 3. So 1 by 3. So here only one option is giving the first term as 1 by 3, which is same as the first term in this series. So required answer will be the fourth option. Okay. So here by verification, take n equal to 1, we get the nth term, means first term. According to series, it is 1 by 3. Now that same answer we should get in the options. So here only one option gives that answer as 1 by 3. Okay. So fourth option will be yeah. This is a direct method. Now this is verification method. Now how to solve? We are interested in knowing how to solve. We'll see the method of solving for 2 or 3 problems. Now remaining one we solve by verification method. This is the second method. So series is given here. 1 by 1 into 3, 1 by 3 into 5, 1 by 5 into 7, and so on, up to n terms. So we have to find the nth term in this series. Now finding nth term in a series. See that is this series forming a standard progression like AP or GP or HP or any other standard form used? Now clearly we can see that difference will not be same, ratio will not be same, and reverse ratio if you take and the difference will not be same. So they are neither in AP nor in GP nor in HP. So it is not forming a standard progression. Now in such case, how to find the nth term in the series? See, if you observe these terms in the denominator, observe numerator is always 1 only. So for any term we take numerator is 1. And observe the terms in denominator. First terms in denominator 1, 3, 5 and so on. So 1, 3, 5 and so on, it is forming AP because difference is same. Next second terms 3, 5, 7 and so on. So these second terms are also forming AP because for them also difference is same. So first terms are forming AP and also second terms are forming AP. So we can find nth term by using this two terms, the first terms and the second terms. So here nth term Tn, it is 1 divided by, it is 1 divided by the nth term of the first terms 1, 3, 5 and so on. Nth term of the first terms 1, 3, 5 and so on into nth term of the second terms 3, 5, 7 and so on. Okay, so if we take the product of these two and reciprocal, now that is what the nth term of this total series. So 1 divided by, now to take the nth term of this, we can see that it is forming AP. So it forms AP. What is the first term? 1. Common difference is 2. So if you know first term and common difference, so can you find the nth term in this series? And here also it is forming AP. Here first term is 3, common difference is 2 only. So what will be the nth term in this AP? We know nth term A plus n minus 1 into D. So 1 plus n minus 1 into D. D is 2 into, that is also AP. Nth term is A plus n minus 1 into D. D is 2. So it will be 1 by 2n minus 2 plus 1. So it is 2n minus 1. 3 plus 2n minus 2 plus 3. It is 2n plus 1. So this is the method of solving directly, that is finding the nth term in this series. Okay. So for this problem it may be we are getting easy, but some problems it will be difficult to find the nth term. Okay. So in such case, better we follow that verification method. Okay. Now let us see next question. If 2 cube plus 4 cube plus 6 cube and so on up to 2n cube, 2n whole cube is equal to k into n square into n plus 1 whole square, then what is the k value? So again this also we can solve by two methods. One is by taking some values for n, verifying. Another is by using the standard form. Okay. So if I want to verify, we can take some values for n. If I take n equal to 1, so n is 1 means up to 2 cube. Okay. Sum up to 2 cube. When I take n equal to 1, sum up to 2 cube means that is the first term. So 2 cube is 8. 8 equal to k into n we are taking 1. So n is 1 means 1 square into 2 square, 4. So 8 equal to 4 into k. 8 equal to 4k means k will be 2. So required answer will be 2. Okay. So verify by taking n equal to 1 or n equal to 2 and so on. So with one verification or two verifications we can get the answer easily. So there is one method always we can use. Now see another method. Observe these terms. 2 cube, 4 cube, 6 cube up to 2n cube. Now we are taking cubes of even natural numbers. So cubes of even natural numbers. How can you write that? 2 cube I can write 2 into 1 whole cube. 4 cube we can write 2 into 2 whole cube. 6 cube we can write 2 into 3 whole cube. And so on. 2n cube we can write 2 into n whole cube is equal to k n square into n plus 1 whole square. So 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3 up to 2 into n. Now in each of these terms we have 2 and it's in cube. So 2 cube we can take common outside. So remaining will be 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube up to 2 cube common. Remaining is n cube. So k into n square n plus 1 whole square. So 2 cube is 8. 1 cube, 2 cube up to n cube. Sum of cubes of n natural numbers is n square into n plus 1 whole square by 4 is equal to k into n square into n plus 1 whole square. So n square n plus 1 whole square will get cancelled. 4 we can cancel 2 times. So 2 is equal to k. So required k value is 2. Okay. So standard form is given. So we are solving directly. If it is not standard form, substitute n equal to 1 and find the value of k. Okay. Let us see next question. Series is given 1 into 2 into 3 plus 2 into 3 into 4 plus 3 into 4 into 5 and so on. So we have to find the sum of this series up to where? Up to n terms. So here we don't need the nth term. Okay, we are not finding nth term. What we are finding is the sum of these terms up to n terms. So up to n terms we need the summation. That is Sn is needed. So solving this directly for taking the sum of n terms will be complex. So let us verify here also. So verification method will be used. Let us take n equal to 1. So n is 1 means we are taking sum up to n terms. n1 means sum up to 1 term. So what is the first term here? 1 into 2 into 3, which is 6. So when n is 1, left hand side is 6. Now right hand side also we should get 6 by substituting n equal to 1. Now verify. See the options. First option, n is 1 means 1 into 2 into 3 into 8 divided by 2. So 2 will get cancelled. We will get 20. But left hand side is 6, right hand side we are getting 24. So first option wrong. Second option, substitute n equal to 1. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 divided by 4. So 4 cancel. 6. So maybe second option correct. Now don't directly go for answer as second option. Okay. Since we are verifying, so we have to verify all the options. If only one is satisfying, that is only our correct answer. If more than one satisfies, in such case we have to go for another verification. Take n equal to 2 and see which option will be satisfied. So verifying remaining options also. N is 1. So 2 into 1 into 2, 3, 4, 12, 24, 48. So third option wrong. Fourth option, n is 1. So 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 divided by 12. So 4 into 3, 12 will get cancelled. We get 2. That is also wrong. So only one option which is giving 6 as answer is second option. So second option will be correct. Understanding? Next. So again, sum of series is given 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n brackets. So we have to find the sum up to n brackets. So in the first bracket we can see we have 1. In the second bracket we have 1 plus 2. In the third bracket we have 1 plus 2 plus 3. So there is some pattern. First bracket 1, second bracket 1 plus 2, third bracket 1 plus 2 plus 3. Third bracket means we have 3 terms. Second bracket means we have 2 terms. First bracket means we have 1 term. And in each of the brackets we can see we have sum of natural numbers. So in the nth bracket, that is last bracket, what terms will be having? will be having 1 plus 2 plus up to n natural numbers. Now we don't need only the n brackets. So what we need is the sum of all these n brackets. Okay, we need the sum of n brackets. So again, solving all this may be lengthy, so we can use the verification method here also. I'll take some values for n, take n equal to 1 or n equal to 2 and see which option will be correct. Okay, so if I take n equal to 1, so what will be the left hand side? Left hand side here, n is 1 means sum up to 1 bracket or first bracket. What is the first bracket? We have 1. Okay, so left hand side is sum up to first bracket means it is 1. Now 1 we should get in the options. See which option gives answer as 1. Let us see first option. N is 1. So n is 1 means 1 into 2 into 3 divided by 6. So 6 by 6 means 1. So maybe first option is correct. Again, remember when we are verifying, we have to verify all the options. Then only we can say which one is correct answer. Okay. So with the first option only directly we cannot say it is the answer here. See second option. N is 1 means 1 into 2 into n is 1. So 3 plus 23 plus 46 divided by 12. So how much we get here? 46, 9, 12, 72 divided by 12. So we are getting 12. We should get the answer as 1, but here we are getting 12. So this is wrong. Next, third option, n is 1, 27 plus 90 plus 45 minus 50 divided by 4. So how much we get here? Minus 5, 22, 112 by 4, which is 4 2s are 480. So we are getting 28. So third option also wrong. Let us see fourth option. N is 1, 1 into 2 into 3 divided by 6. 6 by 6 is 1. So in the first option and in the fourth option, we are getting the answer as 1. Okay. So out of these two is our answer is present. Now out of these two, which option we have to take? Okay. So already clearly we know that second option and third options are eliminated. So we can remove these two options. This cannot be our answers. So either the first option will be correct or the second and fourth option will be correct. Now out of these two, which one will be correct? Now that will depend on the second verification. Okay. So let us verify n equal to 2. Okay. So by one substitution we eliminated two options. Now we have to take another substitution here because two options are satisfying when n is 1. Let us take n equal to 2. Now n is 2 means what is left hand side? Sum up to 2 brackets. So take sum up to 2 brackets, first bracket plus second bracket. So here sum is 4. So you should get answer as 4 whenever n is 2. Now verify options. Now here do we have to verify all the options? No need. Because already we know second and third options are wrong. So only we verify first and fourth options. Okay. Now verify the first and fourth options. First option, n is 2. So 2 into 3 into 4 divided by 6. So maybe first option will be correct. Now see fourth option, n is 2. 2 into 3 into n is 2. 5 divided by 6. So 2 into 3 is 5. So 5 is wrong. because we have to get left hand side 4 means right hand side also 4 only we should get. So only first option gives dash 4. So required answer will be the first option. Okay. So for this problem we need 2 verifications. So may not be all problems we get by one verification. Some problems we may have to use the second verification, and some problems we may use the third verification also. Okay. So whatever the options eliminated, no need to substitute in that options. So only which options are satisfying, that only we take for second verification. Okay. So this is a method of solving for this type of problems. Now see next question. So the question. So sum of terms is given up to n terms. So again we have to find the sum up to n terms. So if you see, maybe it is complex to simplify directly. So here we use the verification. Problem involves n, the options also involves n. So better we verify. Let us take n equal to 1. Okay. So sum up to n terms means we are taking n equal to 1. Sum up to first term. So what is the first term? N is 1 means left hand side value will be first term 1 by 2 into 2 by 2 divided by 1. So which is 1 by 2. So we should get answer as 1 by 2 whenever we take n equal to 1. So verify from the options now. First option, n is 1 means 1 square divided by 2 square, which is 1 by 4, which is wrong because we need 1 by 2 as answer. What's the second option? N is 1, 1 cube divided by 2 cube, which is 1 by 8, again wrong. Third option, n is 1, 1 by 1 plus 1. So maybe third option correct. See fourth option, n is 1 means 1 by 2. So maybe fourth option also correct here. So we eliminated the first and second options. So our answer is present either in the third or fourth options. So by one verification we don't get answer here. So let's take the second verification. Let n equal to 2. So n is 2 means we are taking sum up to 2 terms. So take sum up to 2 terms. This is the first term, this is the second term. What is the first term? 1 by 2. Plus second term is 2 will get cancelled. 3 by 2 divided by 9, which is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 6. 3 cancelled 3 times, so 1 by 6. 6 is LCM. 3 plus 1. So 4 by 6 means it is 2 by 3. So left hand side is 2 by 3 whenever n is 2. Now verify from the options. Again no need to verify first and second options, they are already wrong. This cannot be our answer. So either say third or fourth option will be correct. Now see which option will be correct. Take third option. N is 2. 2 by 2 plus 1, 3. So maybe third option correct. Let us say fourth option. N is 2. 1 by 2 plus 1, 1 by 3, which is wrong. Okay. So only one option satisfies. Left hand side 2 by 3. Right hand side also 2 by 3, when n equal to 2, that is third option. So required answer is third option. Let us see next question. 1 into 1 factorial plus 2 into 2 factorial and so on up to n into n factorial is. So we need sum up to n into n factor. Sum of terms is needed, not the nth term. Okay. So sum up to n terms. So again, simplifying may be complex. So better we verify, because in objective getting answer is important. So how we get not so important. So here problem involves n, options also involves n. So better we verify. Let us take n equal to 1. N is 1 means sum up to 1 into 1 factor. Now you may think that why we are starting from n equal to 1 only? Why not n equal to 0? So n equal to 0 means sum up to 0 into 0 factorial. Now do we have the term? The term is not present. Okay. So we don't take n as 0. Okay. So usually we take positive integers only. So since up to n into n factorial we can take n equal to 1. So what will be left hand side? Sum up to 1 into 1 factorial. That is first term. So 1 into 1 factorial is 1. Now verify from the options. When n is 1, see which option gives answer as 1. First option, n1 means 1 plus 1. 2 factorial minus 1. 2 factorial 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So the first option correct. Second option, n is 1. 1 minus 1. 0 factorial is 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So it is wrong. Third option, n is 1. 2 factorial plus 1 is 3. Wrong. Fourth option, n is 1. 1 minus 1. 0 factorial is 1 minus 1 is 0. Is also wrong. So only one option giving answer as 1, which is same as left hand side. That is first option. Okay. If more than one option satisfies, then we take n equal to 2. Now we have to take sum up to 2 into 2 factorial. That is sum of 2 terms. That will be left hand side. Now see that same value we should get in the options. Okay. Let us see next one. 2 into 4 plus 4 into 7 plus 6 into 10 and so on up to n minus 1 terms. Now we need the sum up to n minus 1 terms. Now observe carefully here. There is a slight difference in between the previous problems we solved and this problem. Now we need the sum of these terms up to n minus 1 terms. Now sum up to n minus 1 terms means, can we take verification for n equal to 1? If we take n equal to 1 means sum up to 1 minus 1, 0 terms. We are not taking any term. So we are not taking any term means sum will be 0. Okay. So at least one term we should take to verify. So whenever we have sum up to n minus 1 terms, we start verifying by taking n as 2 at least. When n is 2, so n is 2 means sum up to 2 minus 1 terms, sum up to 1 term. So sum up to 1 term means first term, 2 into 4. Okay. So whenever it is given sum up to n minus 1 terms, whenever it is given sum up to n terms, we start verifying by taking n as n value should be greater than or equal to 2. Okay. When it is sum up to n minus 1 terms, verification we can take by taking n values as at least 2 or more. Okay. So that we can take sum up to at least 1 term. Suppose it is given sum up to n minus 3 terms. For example, if it is given that sum up to n minus 3 terms, can you take n as 1 by verification? N is 1 means sum up to minus 2 terms. Now we cannot have terms as negative. Okay. So this cannot be done. So here for verifying at least we should take 1 term. So what can be least value of n we can take? Here n value should be greater than or equal to 4. So verifying then verify by taking n value greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so at least 4 we have to take for n. Then 4 minus 3 is 1 term. So sum up to 1 term when n is 4. Okay, so when it is up to n terms means directly we can take n equal to 1 onwards. But if it is sum up to n minus 1 terms, we take n greater than or equal to 2. Up to n minus 3 terms, n greater than or equal to 4, and so on. Okay, so here you should take minimum value for n as 2. So let us take n equal to 2. Now what will be the left hand side? Now don't confuse that n equal to 2 means we have to take 2 terms. Are we taking 2 terms? No, we are not taking 2 terms. We are taking sum up to n minus 1 terms. Now n is 2 means 2 minus 1 term. So I will take sum up to 1 term only, that is 2 into 4. So left hand side will be 2 into 4 is 8. Okay. Now substitute n equal to 2 in the options. See which option gives us 8. First option, n is 2. So 2 into 8 plus 2 into 4. So 2 we can take common. 12 into 2 we get 24, which is wrong because we should get 8 as answer. Second option, n is 2. 1 by 6 into 8 plus 12 plus 1. 21 by 6 is 7 by 2. Is also wrong. Third option, n is 2. 2 into 8, 2 into 2. 2 we can take common. 10 into 2, 20. Is also wrong. First 3 are wrong means fourth option will be correct. You can see the definition. 2 into 8 minus 2 into 4. 2 we can take common. 4 into 2 is 8. So only one option gives answer as 8. That is fourth option. Okay. So we are taking sum up to n minus 1 terms. Start verifying by taking n equal to 2 onwards. Don't take n equal to 1 here because n is 1 means we are taking sum up to 0 terms. So no term is taken means we cannot verify. Okay. So try to complete to here. Remaining will continue next class. Okay. Thank you.